Greetings, cyber dogs, hawklings, and fellow Minecrafters. I am now back with another episode of my build here. Now, let me get my perspective over to myself here. Yes, I am right now at the end of the tunnel that took you from Hawk Castle, Hawk Village, to the desert compound that I have placed over here to behind me. And there's a number of ways of getting there. You can get there by rail, you can get there by trail as well. And in both instances, you can get there pretty much in safety. So, I mean, that was pretty much the primary goal. Whoops, let me get my perspective right here, guys. There we go. And this is just a little lookout area. And this was from an earlier version, so some of the biomes are kind of odd. This just takes you down to this little thing here, and all this is basically a long way down to get you to a skeleton spawner, one of the very first ones I made. Yeah, you're not gonna get me, dude. I am going up here, and I am going far away from you. Just in case, I'll keep my sword handy. There we go. Anyway, if you walk this way, now see, there's the rail system that will take you there as well. But this is the walk system, and this is surrounded in such a way that nothing should be able to get to you. And we're going to get ourselves to the desert compound. Now, this isn't a castle, this is just a protected area surrounded by a wall. And it's also an access point to get to a number of other areas. One area happens to be the North Village, which goes this way. And that's a long, long way off. But probably going by rail is the quickest way to get there. Now, what's unique about the entrance to this particular place, let's say, for instance, some kind of mob was chasing you. Originally, before all this was built and secured, I would get chased by mobs out here in a desert area all the time. So what I do is I come running through here like a madman. They come chasing after me, and then I'd press this lever and squash them. Yep. Kind of evil, I guess. But I enjoyed it. Anyway, after I had first built this area, this had become actually my base of operations for quite some time, because this is where all the food stores are. Lots of things are stored here. This is actually more the kitchen area for this particular base. And up here is my bedroom. Not quite as fancy as the other one, but very functional. And as always, I have a little place to look out over everything, because heck, why not? Might as well have a nice place. Anyway, let's go back in. If I can. Why can't I get in there? Ooh, I think we've got a little bit of lag issue here, guys. Ah, shoot. There we go. Not sure what happened there. Getting a... Well, I'll check the recording when I get done with this, see what it does. Okay, this was another nether portal, but it's not lit right at the moment. When I restored this world, everything was shut off, so... Anyway, this is just a little walkway that you can go around. At this time, I'm not going to do that. That's just another little outlook area. Let's see, that's an area that I did a lot of smelting. And of course the brick paths and the lamps. I'm kind of into fountains. I will admit that. I like fountains a lot. But this area here is really important because I wanted to come up with something that was kind of unique to. And one of the first unique builds I made was this Parthenon made out of sandstone. And I'm very proud of this. And the reason I built it was for one thing and one thing in particular for the most part. And I will show you. And yet again, more stuff I took from Randog. But this is what's important about this particular area. Yes, that is what you think it is. That is the Ender Dragon's egg. I did defeat it. And I took his egg. And I put it on display. I guess I'm kind of hoping someday there might be an update to where we can hatch this and I can finally make this thing to a pet or be able to ride it or something. And I just put an ender chest over here to kind of balance it out. As you well know, I'm OCD, so I have to have everything balance out. Yeah, there's a lot going on here, so there's a bit of a lag here. And this is my particular library that I stored all the stuff. And it is huge. And this was my first mob spawner. There's already something in here. And it's made with obsidian so that the creepers can't blow up the bottom portion of it when they fall through, but usually one hit will take them out. And the reason is even though they don't fall that far, which I think 24 is what they have to fall to become a one hit, what I did is I put a layer of lava up at the top, about in the middle, so they fall through that lava and catch on fire. It's just a little different technique. And here's my little smelting mining, I'm not mining, but smithery, I guess is what I'm trying to think of. Armory. A couple of anvils and nice little brick area there. We'll go to the top here. Well, I can't get up there. It's not that important. Yeah, you can hear the lava. A fireplace. I'm thinking about taking that wall out. Anyways, you come out here, as I said before, this was the storage place for all of my vegetables and animals and things like that. This is the farming compound. Yeah, if you're wondering why there are chickens everywhere or how they got out, I had a creeper incident where this fencing got blown up and a lot of my chickens got loose. So I'm going to clear out a few of them. Alright, there we go. Yes, and lots of cows. I have been busy with the cattle breeding. Hey, how'd you get out? Got too many escapees. Anyway, this is the garden, and as you can tell, I'm growing potatoes, carrots, netherwort, sugar cane, cacti, pumpkins, watermelons, yada yada yada. And this is the Tower of Enchantment and Brewing. This is where I first built my... That's where I can't talk, guys. Where I built my first enchantment room and my first brewing room. And this is the enchantment room. Pretty basic. And the brewing room, which actually is much nicer than the enchantment room, because it's up in a glass tower and you can see everything from up here. It's not too bad, huh? And you got a water source here, some cauldrons, plenty of supplies. and quite a few potions. Yeah, at that time I was really into using the netherrack to light things up. Yes, the Parthenon looks really nice from back here. And there's the mob spawner. Yeah, I think Delacapa's design that he put in our new one is much better, but like I said, it was the first one I had done, really. Now, if you're wondering what this is, guys, this is a... When I first came to the desert compound, one of the reasons I stayed is I found a mine shaft down here. And I decided to stay, and I basically cleaned it out of all of its resources. Now, there might be still a few down there, but pretty much it's been cleaned out. And this is the desert compound village. This was an experiment. This was the very first village that I made with after curing some villagers, and I found out that you can overdo it. Basically, this is when they used to have where the doors used to make them breed, and I made this building and I filled it with like 80 or 90 doors, something like that, and it got to be so many villagers that the lag was so terrible, and all these golems started popping up. That's why there's so many of them. I mean, this place is safe. These guys are not in danger, believe me. The heck? I still have a lot of villagers here. And what I ended up having to do, and I hate to tell you this, but I ended up having to take out some of the villagers. Sorry about that, guys, but... That's rude. I am sorry about that, guys, about that interruption. Anyway, let's go back down into the village here. Hi, guys. Yeah, there's quite a few of these guys around here. And I had thinned them out, too. This is where the pigs are stored. Quite a few pigs, too. And they really like that water. You'd think it would be mud, wouldn't you? Oh, can't get out that way. Well, something killed the chicken. Wonder what it was. No, get out of my way, dude. Oh, wow. What happened to... There's a door missing. That's not cool. That's not cool at all. I wonder if I have... No, I don't have a door. Well, this is just... Well... Even though the mobs can probably get through here, I don't think they're going to get very far. Not with those guys hanging out. Too many golems. Yeah, these are kind of nice apartments for the little guys. They got themselves a little bed, and they got themselves a couple of chairs. Not too bad. Little apartment complex. It was designed to be sort of that way. With little walkways around both of them, and kind of spiffy. Kind of spiffy. Alright. Looks like we got another egg and more chickens. Yeah, this is a decorative... I guess I am into decorative stuff. It's just something I do. Chicken. See, you got your nice fountain and a plate, a little walkway over it. I guess it didn't have to do that, but I just liked the way it looked. Die, chicken. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you into the rail system here. And this rail system, God, there are chickens everywhere. Lots of chickens. No wonder there's so much lag. Anyway, these different rails take you to other portions of this world We have the North Village here, which is another village of NPCs that I didn't create. This takes you back to Castle Hawkeye in Hawk City. That hasn't been established yet. The South Village and Fortress. Now, what's interesting about the fortress, guys, is that I found it. I wasn't looking for it, I found it. I was going through a cave near the South Village of NPCs that I found, and as I was down in there, I found a fortress. That's how I eventually got the Ender Dragon. And this is the Extreme Hills Outpost. Now, it doesn't look like I have a... Yeah, here's one. Okay. Now I'm going to take you to the Extreme Hills Outpost because that's actually kind of a nice outpost. Of course, the quickest way there is by rail. And almost everything I have in this world you can get there by rail. I mean, I tried to make it as quick as possible, simple as possible. And this is kind of a ways to go because the Extreme Hills is quite a ways out here. Since we're having rendering issues, see? Probably because we're running all that software with it. It's like I'm floating on air. Hopefully when we get over here it'll reduce a little bit. But this is a swamp biome down here, and this is where I used to get slimes. Okay, whoa. Okay, now we're into the tunnel. And this goes through the mountain of the Extreme Hills Outpost. I hate this rendering issue. Of course, you can see some of the neat things that I've done underground. Alright, hold on. I'm going to get off of that. Anyway, this is the Extreme Hills Outpost. And this is way, way underground in another mine shaft that I happen to be cleaning out. And I built this little temporary outpost so that I could come and smelt things as I needed to. As you can see, you got netherrack here. Quite a bit of it too, actually. Ooh, also, I need to make sure... Do I have any food here? No, I don't. That's not good. Let me see if I have any food in these chests. Don't remember what I have in here. No. Ah. Got some bread here. Yes, this just takes you out to a portion of the mine shaft. That's the rail system that goes up. Oh yes, and I put a little tree underground. I don't know, I always got to do things differently, you know. This is basically a little mine shaft area. And I happened to find quite a few spawners down here while I was in dungeons, so I made them into XP collectors, whatever. This happens to be a zombie one. Not a zombie one, but a skelly. Doesn't look like they're dropping any skellies at the moment. And this one is a cave spider one. Now this is basically a little place where you can look out over the cave spider spawners, but you can see there's two of them. They happen to be real close to each other, so because of that I can get quite a bit of XP that way. And this particular spawner is of my own design. I don't seem to be getting any spawning going on for some reason. There we go. There we go. See, they get down here and they can't get out. Apparently he was able to get a little bit out. Yeah, you gotta stand back from these guys. As you can see, I get quite a bit of XP that way. That just happens to open up the bottom there so you can grab the loots. I'm thinking of putting in a hopper there because sometimes if you're not careful they can get out. And that doesn't end up very well. And that just takes you to more parts of the cave. I think I was getting the skelly spawner to work now. Since I hadn't been here a while, they're not really spawning. There we go. There's the guys. Great way to get arrows, great way to get all kinds of stuff. Let's see. Yeah, we got bones, we got arrows, occasional bow. I'm sure I could have built a better design to where it was one hit, but it was functional at the time, and it worked pretty well. But anyway, this has been cleaned up pretty well of all the mine shaft stuff. But it's still a good area to mine. Anyway, what's kind of cool about this underground area is if you go in this direction, and you can still see part of the mine shaft here. Happened to be a chasm here, which is great. It just goes on and on and on. But if you go over here, I have a little secret. One of the things that I do when I play this game is I always make certain that there are other ways in and out. You just follow these stairs. And what this will do is this will take you to another area. As I said, follow the stairs. And eventually you'll come to little bitty outposts. I always build little outposts as I'm exploring caves, because if you were to die, it's good to have a place where you can respawn and you won't have to start over, so to speak. I don't think that's where I wanted to go. I think I wanted to go this way. Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's right. It's been a while since I've been here. Oh yeah, this happens to be another place to get to another mine shaft. And I don't think that one I've explored as much. Now let me get over here. Yeah, here's an outpost that I had, a temporary one. Like I said, I always put a bed in them. It's just kind of a good rule of thumb. That way if something happens to you, you can always come back. Yeah, this is the first place I found emeralds, so this was very important. Looks like I've had some Endermen at work. This way out, okay. This way out. See? Now if you go down here, we have another chasm. And in this chasm, I will have another outpost. Always do. And as you go this way, you enter in another cleaned out mine shaft area. You run down this long hallway until you get to this area, and as you can see, this is quite built up a little bit. Yeah, I even put in stairs and balconies and whatnot, but you go down here, and I had a little major cave outpost up here. Looks like I had a creeper explosion go on there. Not surprising. And this one's a lot more elaborate than some of the others because I was here for quite a while. Because this actually has a place to cook things and even has a few things, food, and I have a decent bed up here with some more storage. As I said, I spent a lot of time in here. And if you go this way, I'll show you that we have another spawner over here. This is a zombie spawner XP farm that I built. And there you can see it. That's where they fall in and they drop down and you can smack them in the head. There they go. Goodbye. Have fun. Sayonara. Buenas noches. Arrivederci. I hate those guys. But you just basically go down here and smack them thusly. Not bad. Again, I'm sure there's more impressive ones, but it worked for me. It worked. Anyway, let's get back on the path here. Now, if you keep going this way, again, this was all mine shaft, and I had cleaned everything out and lit everything up so that we could reduce the amount of spawns. I believe I have a... maybe I got rid of it. I thought I had a cave spider spawner over there, but I think I had so many of them I just eventually got rid of them. And it got to the point where I would just mark dead ends if there was nothing there. Yeah, this is another outpost. It's good to have a lot of outposts. That way you have some place to run to and rest if you need to. Anyway, if you go through here, and run through here, you come into this area, and this happens to be some strip mining that I had done over here. And guess what? If you run down here, to this pillar, there's a ladder, and then you go up the ladder, and it's a bit of a ways, but when you get to the top, and when we get to the top, you hear the cows. We're back at the desert compound. Yes, you can get all the way to the Extreme Hills Outpost underground. And funny thing is that's how I actually found it. Is I was down in the cave system and I eventually came out upon it. And that's where I decided to build it. Because there was emeralds there. And I wanted a place to get the emeralds, but then I decided to build a way to get there above ground as well. But as I've shown you earlier, I put outposts everywhere in this place. So there's always some place to go and always some place to stay. And like I said, this was where I had started out, and this is where I put one of my first outposts. See? Not too bad. If you're wondering what this area was, back in the early days of Minecraft, the only place that slimes would spawn was underground. And they didn't spawn in swamps. They just spawned in slime chunks that are basically at random throughout the entire world. And this happened to be a slime chunk, so I had fenced it off so that the slimes could spawn and I could get slime balls. Because they also spawn down here as well. Funny thing is, now it's not really even necessary. I don't think they spawn here anymore. Kind of sad. But, you know, things change. Anyway, that is, for the most part, the desert compound, the Extreme Hills compound, and, as I showed you earlier, Hawk City. But I like this world. I really did. I spent a lot of time here. And there's still more to show you. So I'm going to end this particular episode. And when I get to the end of this, I'm going to take you to the other outpost that I have that's quite major. And hopefully we can wrap this up. But if you all are interested and anybody would like a copy of this world, just let me know and I'll put it in my Dropbox. And I'll send you a link and you can get a copy of it. Then you can kind of do whatever you want to with it if you want. Anyway, guys, since this is about the end, I will be signing off from the desert compound in front of the Parthenon. Anyway, guys, I will see you later. Bye-bye.